In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on October 23, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Kansas City Chiefs versus San Francisco 49ers. In a rematch from Super Bowl 54 and a possible preview of this year's Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs head to San Francisco to take on the Niners on Sunday afternoon. The Chiefs come in after a physical and taxing game against AFC rival Buffalo, in which they fell 24-20 to fall to 4-2 on the season. The Niners meanwhile sit at just 3-3 after losing on the road to the Falcons 28-14 with a banged-up defense. While not on the defensive side of the ball, help is on the way for the Niners as they executed a midweek trade to bring in Pro Bowl running back Christian McCaffrey from the Panthers for draft picks. There are some major injury concerns for the Niners this week, and I would not recommend betting anything related to this game until closer to game day. LT Trent Williams, DE Nick Bosa, and FS Jimmy Ward all got in a limited practice session on Wednesday, while DT Eric Armstead, RT Mike McGlinchey, CB Charvarius Ward, and S Talano Hufanga all were still sidelined. CB's Emmanuel Mosley and Jason Verrett are also still out. Those missing pieces on defense are very concerning when you take into account this week's opponent. The Chiefs' offense leads the NFL in EPA play and has the second highest success rate on dropbacks. The departure of Tyreek Hill has made them a little less explosive, but it's also made Patrick Mahomes less reliant on a single player, which in my opinion makes him even more deadly. Last year, defenses played a ton of too-high shell coverage and schemed Hill out of the game, which handcuffed Mahomes and made them much easier to defend from the top down. Besides Travis Kelce, there's not one weapon to focus on this season, which allows Mahomes to take what the defense gives him. This is a big reason why Kansas City has the most efficient offense in the league. Kelce has about a 25% target share, but nobody else on the roster is higher than 20%, with 8 players recording at least 5 receptions so far this season. I honestly think Mahomes could hit the hot dog vendor if he was open. If the Niners are forced to play backups and third stringers in the secondary, which relies mostly on a zone coverage scheme, Mahomes and the Chiefs could be in for a big day. Mahomes has historically eaten up even the best zone coverages and has the highest QBR against zone this season, making secondary play even more paramount this week. On the other side, Kansas City can be beat on defense, especially their secondary, which is also a little banged up. CB Trent McDuffie is still on injury reserve, CB Rashad Fenton missed practice Wednesday, and SS Brian Cook was limited. Say what you want about Jimmy G, he's had success in this spot, going 13-3 against the spread as an underdog in his career. So the San Francisco 49ers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This Kansas City offense can put up points with the best of them, and while San Francisco has an outstanding scoring defense, I think they'll be challenged here by a walking cheat code like Patrick Mahomes. On the other side, the Niners are capable of putting points up, and I think they'll have to if they want any chance in this game. This total has bumped up over a point as the week has progressed. The health of San Francisco cornerback Ward may play a role in that, as well as the arrival of McCaffrey. Kansas City is 6-1 to the over in their last 7 road games, while also playing 8-3 to the over on grass. Kansas City is 2-1 to the over on the road this year as well. For the Niners, they have averaged nearly 30 points per game in their 3 wins this season and more than 25 points per game at home this season. Look for this one to slip past the over late. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Seattle Seahawks versus Los Angeles Chargers. It's an interconference clash as a pair of former AFC West opponents take the field in the City of Angels. The Seattle Seahawks are on the road as they make the trip down the West Coast to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday afternoon. Seattle comes in off a 19-9 home victory over Arizona as a 2.5-point underdog in their previous contest last Sunday. Los Angeles had a tougher than expected time but managed to earn a 19-16 overtime victory over Denver at home on Monday Night Football. football, though they failed to cover as 4-point favorites. In the all-time series between the teams, the Seahawks hold a slim 26-25 advantage, though the Chargers have taken 2 straight and 3 of 4. That includes a 25-17 road victory in the most recent matchup on November 4, 2018. The Seahawks are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 in October and 9-3-1 against the spread in their last 13 in Week 7. Seattle is 5-11 against the spread in their last 16 after an against the spread win. Meanwhile, the Chargers are 3-1 against the spread in their last 5 in Week 7 and 8-2 against the spread in their last 11 in October. The over is 9-2 in Los Angeles' last 11 overall. How many teams are actually good in the NFL this season? That's a question I've asked myself numerous times over the last few weeks, as the majority of the league seems to be trending toward uninspiring mediocrity, to say nothing of the truly awful teams like Carolina, Pittsburgh, Chicago, etc. However, the Seahawks have not been one of those teams. Seattle has played inspired football this season with Geno Smith at the helm of its surprisingly strong offense. Seattle leads the NFL in passing DVOA and overall offensive DVOA, and it starts and ends with Smith at the controls. The Seahawks offense has needed to be special in order to compensate for its awful defense. Thankfully, Smith shouldn't have too much trouble against a Chargers defensive front that is missing Joey Bosa. Based on the general state of the NFL at the moment, it's hard to lay 7+ points with inconsistent teams. The Chargers are chief among those teams, as Los Angeles has had to battle through injuries on both sides of the ball en route to a 3-2 record this season. Even assuming that the Chargers make it through Monday's game against the Broncos unscathed, Los Angeles still will have to play this potent Seahawks offense on a short week following a divisional matchup. The historical trends do not favor Justin Herbert and company in this spot, and the young quarterback still could be without Keenan Allen and left tackle Rashawn Slater. Overall, I'm not sure if the Chargers have the offense to outduel Seattle by 2 scores in what should be a back-and-forth affair, so the Seattle Seahawks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams can score pretty big, as they have excellent quarterbacks. Look for both sides to have rebound games from last week's dismal scoring of 0 or 1 touchdown. This will be an air attack game. Watch for Geno and Justin to expand those stats and make up for last week. Looking at the trends, we can see both sides are trending over. For Seattle, the total has gone over in 8 of their last 12 games and also has gone over in 13 of Seattle's last 20 games against an opponent in the AFC West. For the Chargers, the total has gone over in 9 of their last 12 games, over in 4 of their last 6 games against Seattle, and they love a home crowd. The total has gone over in 5 of their last 7 games at home. Geno and Justin are itching for touchdowns, and this week, they are going to get them. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Miami Dolphins. A pair of AFC teams hoping to get their respective seasons on track meet in primetime on the gridiron down in South Beach. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on the road as they make the trip to face the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. Pittsburgh comes in off a 20-18 home win over Tampa Bay in a game where they were a 10-point underdog last Sunday. Miami was knocked off 24-16 at home by Minnesota and failed to cover the line as a 3-point underdog last Sunday in their previous contest. In the regular season series between the teams, the Steelers own a 13-11 advantage, including a 27-14 home triumph in the most recent meeting on October 28, 2019. The Steelers are 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 road games and 1-3-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The Dolphins are 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 home games and 0-6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games in October. The under is 45-19-1 in Steelers' last 65 road games. The under is 11-5 in Dolphins' last 16 games overall. The Steelers are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. If Trubisky is the starter for the Steelers, Miami could be in for a closer game than it expects. Either way, there's not enough working for Pittsburgh to suggest they will resume the success they had last week. The Steelers rank 29th in total yards allowed and 30th against the pass, which could spell disaster if Tagovailoa is playing like he did prior to the concussion. Hill still leads the NFL in receiving yards and will be a threat to take the top off the Steelers' defense all night. With or without a stable starting quarterback situation, Pitt faces a Miami defense that's tough against the run, and Steelers running back Najee Harris is only averaging 3.2 yards per carry this season. While Trubisky was efficient enough at home in relief against the Bucs, asking either quarterback to replicate his game management with a lackluster ground game is too much. The Pittsburgh Steelers were already a bad team on both sides of the ball and make a case as the worst offensive team in the league. That's even more the case with Mitch Trubisky back as a starter. The Miami Dolphins are falling apart with injuries each and every week, but they're expected to have Tua Tagovailoa back, which is a massive boost to this offense and the team as a whole. The Dolphins have a pep in their step with Tua under center, and we saw both sides of the ball playing well through the first 3 weeks. The Dolphins are a completely different team when not asked to play with second and third string quarterbacks. Pittsburgh could keep this close for some time, but the Dolphins have too many weapons to let the Steelers hang around for too long. So the Miami Dolphins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Pittsburgh earned a hard-fought win at home last week but still allowed Tampa Bay to drive the ball consistently into the red zone. They won't have the same success keeping Miami out of the end zone. The Dolphins were putting up nearly 28 points per game through the first 3 weeks with Tagovailoa and should return to their winning ways at home. That said, with Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert dealing with a knee injury, Tagovailoa may not be fully unleashed coming off a concussion against an inferior opponent. Simply put, you need offensive balance to light up the scoreboard. With Pittsburgh's low-scoring ways and Miami playing at less than 100%, the under looks like the better play on Sunday night. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.